It is health time. All right, so get your health books out. Page 21 is where we're going to start. Remember, we've been talking in our health. We just started health last week. We've been talking in our health about our bodies and how we are supposed to be taking care of them. We talked about how we grow spiritually, physically, socially, mentally, all of those things like Jesus did. But then we started talking about how to have the proper posture. And we talked about making it a habit. What's a habit? Something you do without thinking. Very good. Something you do without thinking about it. So, I am standing like my head's touching the ceiling. I wasn't even thinking about that, but I'm standing nice and tall. Or I'm sitting properly in my seat with my toes pointed forward and letting the seat take my weight instead of me doing different things. It's becoming a habit. And that's what the things that we do are, even our exercising, things that should become a habit, doing them enough that we don't even think about them. And remember, posture is what? The way you hold your body when you're sitting or standing or moving about, because we said it's also play and work and rest. All of that is important to have good posture. When you're pushing, making sure that your back is straight and you're still using the right muscles for that. When you're pulling, not pulling from the back muscles, but with our strong leg and arm muscles. When we are just standing or when we're sitting, when we're walking around, we should be able to keep that book on our head without being stiff. All of those things. And then we said exercise. Exercise is so important. We have endurance exercises like jumping rope or playing soccer or basketball, things that keep your heart and lungs going and keeping them strong. So those endurance exercises are very, very important, as well as strength toning and all of that. When we do measured and slow movements, like we talked about with the guy with the metal, what is he? Oh my goodness. The blacksmith. Woo, my mind. The blacksmith. We said he's strong because he's just constantly banging and hammering that metal and making it so his arm muscles are going to be strong. It's not doing this, but doing that. Okay, it's going to make him flap around a lot. It might shove off some of the excess stuff that's on there, but when we do distinct and strong, purposeful, slow movements, that's helping our muscles. So we talked about how important exercise is. We know that rest is super important. 9 to 11 hours of sleep at night is so important for our bodies to be able to recharge, to be ready for the next day, to go through the things that we need to. Our body is being used all the time. Your brain right now, your eyes are looking and figuring things out. You're talking, you're writing. All of those are using energy in your body, and your body needs to refuel that. It needs to gain that back. That's why rest and for those number of hours is so important. It's almost like we talked about, like with a video game. Like if you keep your guy fighting the whole time, what happens? His health and energy level goes down, and you might be able to feed him or give him something to get the energy level halfway, but then what happens? It starts to go down. You want his energy level to be full, so you've got to make sure that you get enough time to fill his energy level all the way up to the top. Well, that's what 9 to 11 hours will do for you. It'll fill your energy level so that the next day you're reared and ready to go and do everything that you need to do. But today we're going to talk about healthy diet. And a healthy diet is so important. We're not talking about, you have to restrict yourself to da-da-da-da-da. No, a healthy diet is just the right things that we can put into our bodies that are going to help. Healthy foods help our bodies to develop the way that they're supposed to. They help many times keep from sickness. They help our bodies to grow stronger. All of these things are very, very important, and we need to think about them as we go through, because that's another part of good health, taking care of our bodies, the bodies that God gave us. I've got some words on the board here. Nutrients, I've written very, very large because we're going to see that word again. But it's at the top of your page, page 21, and you will read that definition with me. Nutrients are substances found in food that help your body grow and develop. So nutrients are just substances that are in our foods, and they help our bodies to grow and develop. So think that through carefully. Say it again. Nutrients, substances found in food that help your body grow and develop. And then we have some different foods here. There's vegetables, there's fruit, there's grain, there's protein, and there's dairy. All of these are different food types that we do need to eat in order to maintain the proper health. We're going to talk specifically today about how much of these things that we do need to have in our bodies. Everyone has favorite foods. What are yours? Go ahead. Yeah. Oh yeah. I love that too. Yep. Yes, that's one of my favorites. Yeah. Oh, no, not that. No, not that. That's yuck. I mean, good for you. Nope. No, not that one either. Yes, that, yep. Okay, all right. No more. Okay, that's good. So you guys have favorite foods, right? Things that you love to eat, that you enjoy. Think about them and think about how often you eat them. Because sometimes your favorite foods, though you may love them, they're not very good for you. It's not something that you should be eating every day or all the time. Since your body uses the food that you eat for fuel, kind of like the gasoline in a car. Do your parents just put anything in the car to make it run? I'll just throw some of this in there. Let's put a little hand sanitizer in there. Let's put a little olive oil. No way, if they did that, the car would say, no, I'm not working for you, right? Well, our body needs fuel. It needs gas to keep it going. So we use that fuel, it gets that fuel from the foods that we eat. So because your body uses the food that you eat for fuel, you need to be sure that you are eating enough of the right kinds of food. Your appetite usually tells you how much food you need, but it, interestingly enough, doesn't tell you what kind of food you should eat. You ever thought about that? Your body's like, I'm hungry, feed me. And it's not telling you, no, don't eat that whole candy bar, chocolate bar. Eat an apple, drink a bunch of water, and you should be good. Now I'm full and we're good. We don't have to eat anything for another 30 minutes. Hour, no, hopefully longer than that, right? But our body doesn't tell us not to eat the whole bag of chips or, not to just grab a handful of candy. No, our body just tells us that it's hungry. So that's why we have to be very careful to choose the right things to eat, to put into our bodies. There are 5 basic groups of food. 5 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These groups contain all the nutrients that your body needs. Nutrients are substances found in food that help your body grow and develop. Most foods contain more than one nutrient, but no one food can give you all the nutrients that your body needs. God created a great variety of tasty foods for us to eat. You will not, listen to this carefully. You will not eat something from all of those 5 food groups at every meal. It's just not a good plan. You're not going to have your fruits, vegetables, grain, protein, dairy for breakfast, and then again for lunch, and then again for dinner. That's way too much. But you will eat some foods from each group every day. You should. Okay, so you need to have grains, fruits, vegetables, proteins, and dairy every day. If you're not going to eat it necessarily at every single meal, but you should every day. So those 5 food groups are very important, and look at them because it's giving you that plate there, and it tells you kind of the amounts that you should be thinking about having. So now we're going to get into them specifically. Vegetables, broccoli, carrots, sweet potatoes, green beans. There are so many delicious vegetables to choose from. Vegetables are an excellent source of good nutrition. To get the vitamins and minerals that you need to eat 1.5 to 2.5 cups of vegetables. okay? 1.5 to 2.5 cups of vegetables every single day. Vegetables do some amazing things for your body. They help your digestive system work properly because they contain fiber. They're low in sugar and fat, so they make good, healthy snacks. Leafy green vegetables and yellow vegetables keep your skin healthy and smooth. They also help the lining of your mouth, nose, and throat to fight infections. That's a great thing, especially when we have so many different sicknesses and colds and things going on. The key to remember when eating vegetables is to eat a variety of colors. Don't just eat the same color, but and that's the other thing about food that God gave us, so many beautiful colors. When you do this, you are making sure your body is getting as many nutrients as possible. Then, fruits. What is your favorite fruit? I know many of you have many favorites. Most of you know some of mine too. When most people think of a healthy diet, they think of fruits. Why is that? Besides being naturally sweet, they are good for you. Fruits include berries, apples, apricots, peaches, watermelons, pears, bananas, and many more. They contain nutrients that you need to stay healthy. Citrus fruits, such as lemons, oranges, grapefruits, they're known to prevent sickness. They can keep away sickness. That's why mom will stick a tangerine or an orange in your face and say, eat this. This is the time of year where everybody's getting sick, so eat this. Or they give you like the pills that taste like citrus, fruit. That's because those are good at preventing sickness. You should aim to eat 1 to 1.5 cups of fruits each day. So 1 to 1.5 cups of fruit each day. 1.5 to 2.5 of vegetables, cups of vegetables, 1 to 1.5 of fruits each day. Do you usually eat dessert after a meal? Try eating fruit instead. I tell you, I started doing that a little bit, and it's like, oh, I don't need ice cream or cake or a cupcake or a cookie. I can eat some berries, and that satisfies that need. Try eating fruit instead. It has natural sugar that is very satisfying as well as tasty. Grains. Do you like spaghetti? How about fresh warm bread? Pasta, bread, rice, cereal, oatmeal, and even popcorn are made from grains. Depending on how grains are processed, they can be refined or whole. Refined grains have much of the healthy parts taken out. Whole grains are much healthier for you. So if it's refined grains, they've kind of taken out all the good stuff that you need. But whole grains are much better. An easy way to tell the difference is to look at the color. Whole grain foods are usually brown, and refined grain foods are usually white. Most of the grains you eat should be whole grain. Now you think about that. You've seen grain, that blows in the wind, big fields of grain, and they talk about grain in the Bible. What does grain look like? Does it look pure white? No. So if something is white, then that means they've taken out a bunch of the good stuff that's in there for you to change it to that white. Grains are darker color, and that's what whole grains would look like. So most of the grains that you eat should be whole grain. Whole grains provide your body with the fiber, B vitamins, and minerals that it needs. You should eat 2.5 to 3 ounces of grains per day, okay? 1 ounce of grain would be 1 slice of bread. So if you have 2 slices of bread, then that's 2 ounces. So you've already eaten almost the amount of grain that you're supposed to have for the day, okay? 1 slice of bread or 1 cup, okay? A lot of times we just fill up the bowl. It's not a bowl of cereal, it's 1 cup of cereal, or 1/2 cup of cooked grains. Do you eat cereal for breakfast? Did you know that some breakfast cereals are coated with sugar? That much sugar is not good for your body, especially first thing in the morning. You should eat whole grain cereals that have only a little or no sugar added. So for grains, it's 2.5 to 3, but it's 2.5 to 3 ounces, not cups, okay? So 2.5 to 3 ounces of grains. And remember, that's 1 cup of cereal or 1 slice of bread. Then proteins. Oh, this is getting so long. Have you ever felt hungry even though you just ate a meal or a snack? I'm trying to get it a little closer so you can see those numbers, hopefully. All right. One reason may be that you did not eat enough protein. When you eat protein, you feel fuller longer. Protein is important because it helps your muscles to grow. The protein food group contains lean meats, nuts, fish, poultry. Poultry is your chicken, duck, goose, you know, that kind of thing. Dried beans, dairy products, and eggs. You should eat 4 to 5 ounces of proteins per day, okay? So 4 to 5 ounces of protein per day. Because your body cannot store protein, you should eat some protein at every meal. So this is one thing that you should have every single meal is protein, because our body gets rid of it very quickly. If you eat protein-rich snacks like nuts or cheese, you will feel more satisfied between meals and you will give your body energy. Then dairy. Do you dream of growing big and strong? Of course, most people do. Dairy products help your body to do just that. Foods containing dairy provide your body with the needed calcium and protein to grow strong and healthy bones, muscles, and teeth. Foods made from or containing milk are a part of the dairy food group. You should try to eat or drink 2.5 to 3 cups of dairy per day. 2.5, to 3 cups of dairy per day. While dairy provides the calcium your body needs, it can also contain too much fat. So low fat or fat-free milk, yogurt, and cheese are usually the better choice. Ice cream and chocolate milk are fun for an occasional treat, but they can contain too much sugar to be helpful to your body. Dairy provides many other important vitamins and nutrients, such as vitamin D and protein, to keep you healthy and growing stronger. If your family does not choose to eat dairy, you can find other foods that contain the needed calcium, vitamins, and nutrients that will help, because some families and some people can't have dairy, so you can find something else to kind of take the place of that. So those are important. So I don't want to take much longer because this is already long enough, but think about it on page 23, whole or refined. We talked about how you can tell the difference. Circle all the food made with whole grains, place an X over the refined grains. Then 24, which food group? So look at each of them and you're going to tell which food group, whether it's vegetables or fruits or dairy or proteins, whatever. So think about those, go back through and think of what each of those are, and then you're going to do your comprehension check on the bottom of page 25. Read those through very carefully. So we'll be talking more about healthy diets and nutrients and what our bodies need. How do we get those good, healthy things into our bodies tomorrow? All right, we will see you for the story time later on today. And I hope that you're having a wonderful, wonderful morning. Again, stay safe, be well, and I love you. See you soon.